February 22, 2023, Marcus Giavanni here. Andy, Rougeot, YouTube handle by Marcus Giavanni. Gonna do a quick slam through. This gives you all the information of what's currently going on in Andy's life on YouTube and just the internet, but mostly YouTube. So whenever Andy thinks he can do all these things and he can't, he's just talk. And it's going to show when the GOP try to line up to outvote the Democratic Party, and then the Democratic Party's going to call foul play and then see some other whoop-de-woo go on. But for now, what we want to do is show you that right here, I had submitted in the proper amount of signatures needed to be placed on the ballot. And when you understand how the system works, this is where all the deception begins and ends. While they have smoke and mirror on the ballot, they are able to manipulate the back end, or the front end in this case, but they do it from the back end in regard to the petitions and how the ballot signatures work. And so I had 260 that were valid. I was 40 short. They said that 123 signatures were invalid, but yet on the bottom, total number of excluded signatures, 0. So which is it? So anyways, when you look at 2011, I had 124 that they rejected. In 2019, 124 rejected. And because they're paying attention, and I've been filing lawsuits against these people, it was going to be 124 again, but you have to be really stupid to let that slip by. To have, dude, how does a guy have 124 illegal people signing a petition that's against the law for a city government that all talk about transparent? Everything's the opposite, and that's what we're learning. And so I sued the government right here, and you can excuse me, you can go and slow down the video and read this by hand, like what I'm doing by hand. Just scroll down, but you can stop the music. This video, I can keep it in proper level. And I lay out everything. I'm not an attorney, so it doesn't have to be perfect. This is why I asked the judge to help guide litigation in my case. And it's all written right here. And you just have to slow the video down to read. And so right here is where I ask, and the very first one is the most important one. I didn't ask about me, I asked about the Spear Amendment. And up till now, for 12 years, nobody ever paid any mind, talked about, denied, confirmed the Spear Amendment. And so I made a decision that I needed to take this to court because I had to get somebody to admit it. And on a emergency session that was brought together by emails between the judge's chamber and the city attorney, and just watching how the system works. And when city attorney came and said in the highest location you can be to be observing and indexing anything, and then when you take into consideration the woman that was fighting the case, the defendant for Paul Lopez, she said, when I told the court, asked the court, what about the Spear Amendment? And she said, and I quote, "We haven't enforced that law in years." And the judge concurred. So the judge allowed them, and that's what my whole argument is that they are able to manipulate everything so that they stay in power for 60 years. And so, in order to be, I had all that indexed when we were all there because our voices were being picked up by all of our cell phones, crosstalk indexing, and even if they all left their phones or turned them off and the judge had his in it, the judge didn't have his, I had mine. And all their voices, the ones that spoke. But as identifiers being the people in the emails and stuff, as being present or not present at the location and time of this hearing where Michelle Horn, city attorney, who has absolute authority, that's why she's there, and she said, we haven't enforced that in years. So she openly admitted that they're breaking the law. And the judge concurred and ruled me invalid and guided the litigation with them. Then I filed a complaint with the attorney regulations, and they didn't find anything wrong with it either. So this is how a kleptocracy government stays in power. And but now they're indexed as an illegitimate government, and I didn't have to be mayor, and they'll just have to see what happens to their city. And I'm sorry that this stuff had to happen in order for Denver to get back on track to become that city beautiful again. It's sad because a lot of the people that are pretty intelligent people have no idea what the metaverse is and how it can be used. And here it is where the judge and them ordered me to serve, and so I did. I hand delivered. I just didn't notify the courts. But that's it in a nutshell, folks.